So I want this team to become good at taking losses. But you don't just take losses based on emotional reaction. You must take losses when you have observed certain clear conditions. Okay? So this is very, very important. Yes, it will come up. Yeah, so there are two types of trading. A person can decide that, oh, it doesn't matter, let it go down, it will come up. Yes, that's true. If you have that kind of patience and you are still excited about the business, the problem is a lot of people, when they just stay patient for 1 month, they stop coming to meetings, they stop coming to webinars, and then they lose this team. So we don't want people to go through that. We want to build a sustainable business, all right? Now, what about if that coin gets delisted? If the coin gets delisted, then of course, you will sell it off and still have the loss. So because of the delisting of coins, I want us to now change how we trade and become people that can take a loss. But so if you have $1,000 and you're trading $250, $3, 4 trades, right? You can take a loss on 2 or 3, and then you can leave 1 to float or leave 2 to float. But don't leave all your money floating indefinitely, because markets can play you a fast one anytime. So this is a concept I want us to learn. I know we're not really too good at it, but we can learn it. So I want us to adjust our settings. I want us to adjust the setting we trade with in our back office and try something new. The reason is that based on the effort I've put in on the training and the signals we give, I found out that between where we are and the exit point is usually 5%, 10% most times. All right? 10% most times. And so look at these trades I took. This sheep went down to -8, and then it came back up, but it had not crossed. I just left it to float, I guess. -8 and then came back up. Mask has just been hovering around -5, well, I think it also went down to -6 or 7 or so. But all of them are less than 10%. Okay, Q2, which was given yesterday, has bought a couple of margin calls, and based on margin calls, after margin calls, it's still on -6%, all right? And then we have DOT, which is on -6%. We are at the bottom of the market, and so there's a lot of sideways movement. Because of this, it has kind of come to my mind that I think we need to tweak our strategy so that all these movements can be vomiting money for us. Because whether you like it or not, people like to see money, right? People like to see money. They want to see, oh, money is coming, it's coming every day. That's fine. They're cool with that. So let's just start with a $100 setting. If somebody has $100 setting, we used to use this kind of setting in the past, okay? But we tweaked it and decided to use 4 margin calls with whole warehouse mode. But now we want to go activate the sub-B modes. But you must have your clear exit strategy, because you cannot be sitting in the trade be going against you -70. Then you're not a trader, you're just a holder, all right? You're just a holder, not a trader. So, but we are traders, so traders must learn to take some losses. All right, so let's go look at how this will work. So I'll click on mine. I'll click on strategy setting. My strategy settings. Of course, I have these settings here, but I want to create a new one. And that new one, I think I'm going to just call it, let me see, what do I call it? I'm just going to click on the plus on the top right here. I'm going to click on this plus sign. And of course, you can choose, when you click on steady, I'll choose radical. You choose anything you want, click on sure. And remark, this first one is $100 sub-B mode. Let me just call it sub-B mode. Yeah, so that you can understand that this is different from the Yeah, that is, I'm also on Zoom on my phone in case I get thrown out from here. All right, so, okay, let me just exit this Zoom. Let me just exit this Zoom from here. I'll enter afresh if I need to. Okay. So, yeah, $100 sub-in mode. The first buying amount, remember, this is for $100. So the first buying amount will be $5. I will do a good explanation of this in a moment. Always turn off AI margin call. We don't want AI margin call here. A lot of people trade with $100. That's what they can. That's what they have. So want to guide them with this. Margin call limits. I will just put 19 margin calls. Okay. Let's just put 19 here, and I'll explain it all in a moment. So 19 margin calls. And let's just put, if the signal says 3%, but for each one, you have to look at your signal and decide the percentage you put. Now, this should be 0.01 or 0.1, anyone you choose. 0.01. I can just put 0.1, no problem with that. Buying callback, yeah, just make that 0.01 because you want to buy in fast. Okay, then distributor and take profit allocation. We'll get there. Sub-in call, yeah, 0.01 here too. For sub position take profit callback. We're going to take a screenshot and share all this in a moment. Okay, so it's one shot, not cycle. So I changed it to one shot here. Okay, so everything here is clear. $100 sub-in mode. Okay, I'm just going to make this capital letter so that it can be very clear to me. Sub-in. Yeah. It being capital doesn't matter, it's just my personal preference, just to make it stand out. Okay, that 19 margin calls, 3%, take profits. Yeah. Okay, then a margin configuration. So now with this margin configuration, this is what we can do. By the way, I noticed a member of my team trading with this. Her name is IJ Smart. So I noticed her results, and I like, okay, how are you trading? Are you taking a signal per trade? But then she said, no, this is what she's using, and then it made sense to me because people love to be getting daily income. Okay, so let's go here, and the multiple buying ratio should be 1 throughout, right? So on the right side, you see multiple buying ratio here. It's just be 1 throughout, okay? And I believe you know what multiple buying ratio is by now. So it should be doing 1 times 5, 1 times that first buying amount, 1 times that first buying amount, okay? That's why it to be all true. All right. Okay. It seems to have populated everything 1 time. So you have to check it very well. And be careful that they are all 1, because if you have 20 there or 10, to go do 10 times whatever your first buying amount is. So that's just verify that, and that's good. Okay. So multiple buying ratio is that one all true. Now for margin calls, we can start with 0.2 because we want it to be, a radical approach to trading. All right. So 0.2, 0.3. You can use 0.3 as your start. This thing is flexible. You don't have to crack your head cramming 0.3. Then you can also decide to use 0.4 here. Okay, then 0.5. Okay, then you can decide that you want to use 0.5 for a lot of the points, or you want to use 0.6. Okay, so let's keep going with 0.5. Then we'll do our math and calculate again. Okay, so that's 0.5, 0.5, 0.5, 0.5. Okay, we're just gonna put 5 significantly, all the way. Yeah, we can make it 0.5 all true. But remember, you can always tweak these things as you want to. But please take note that once you add an additional margin call level to it, you need to come and set the margin configuration. Okay, so right now we're using a total of 19 margin calls. If you go change it to 20, you need to come back to the margin configuration and edit that. Okay, so that's it. If not, it will take default martingale and swallow your money. All right, so this is 0.5, 0.5. Okay, so 0.5 all true. So we have 0.5 all true apart from the first ones. So if it were 0.5, let's do some calculation here. Just imagine if it was 0.5, I use all true from the beginning to the whole of the 19 margin calls. That will be 19 times 0.5, which will give me about 9.5% call drop. You understand? So already you are already planning to tolerate 10%, let the trade go against you by 10%, and that is the edge we have with Royal Q. That is what makes Royal Q different. You don't have to give yourself headache. Just use your EMA strategy and enter the trade. Be ready for your exits, and then tolerate 10%, 9.5, 10% drop in price. The market will be going up and down, and you'll be making money in between that 10%. Okay? And then I click on Sure. But if you want to tolerate more, remember, here you have 0.5, 0.5. You can decide that you want to change it to 1 or 2 or 3 or whatever you want to do. But and this makes sense, but you must have your exit strategy very clear. All right, so with this, there's one more place I'm going to go to, distributed and take profit allocation. This is how the sub beans will behave. So you might decide to make it 1.5, okay, but I think I'll leave it at 1.3, save our time on this session, but you can change to 1.5 if you wish. All right, so we'll just save this, and that's it. That's the $100 sub in mode with first buying amount. So now let's go to our trade. Let's just go to our trade. Now this is a trade, right? It's going to be a random trade. Okay, I'm trading Q2 already, but let's just go to another random trade. If I go to CTXC, I'm trying to look for any coin that the EMA crossing has occurred. Right here, I see it looks like there's some EMA crossing. So you see, this is a random movement. I'm not even bothered. I'm just going to enter here. But guess what? I'll be ready to exit here. Yeah, I'll be ready to exit here. And I won't let anybody disturb me with whether I'm right or wrong. I'll just tell myself this is where I'm out if the market should choose to misbehave, because you can see from here it goes down. So if you stay here, you will also go down like this. All right, so this is how much deep tolerance compared to where we are currently. All right, just 5%. So I'm just saying that from this trade I can tolerate 5%, which is even more. So I can even decide to, allow myself staying a little more. Now, this is the 5-minute chart. So I'm not doing any analysis. It's $100. So I'm just going to throw it in. Let me go trade CTXC. Okay. Just trying to show you how all of this works. So CTXC is here. I understand. I'm going to create this. I'm not doing any much analysis. I'm just going in. Okay. And I want to go import my trade. I click on manually create on the top here. Then I click on choose a strategy. Then I'm looking for my $100 sub beam mode. See why I made it capital, high, uppercase, so I can easily see it. So I click on it, and I know my first buying amount is $5, so I just keep it at 5. I can make it 10 if I want to play with $200. You get the same logic. If I want to play with $300, I can make it 15. All right, so super easy. Now everything is clear. Let me look at the market. How much can I tolerate? How much money can I take here? So how do I set this? Price is currently here. Price is currently here. So I can enter here and take profit here. 3%. Why am I taking profit here? Because this looks like where I have the next swing, I could have said, let me take profit here, but it's 0.9%. Doesn't look too good. Or here, 2%. okay, yeah, I can decide to take 2% here because, there's a kind of resistance or support here. But hey, I could also say, let me just push myself a little bit. Or since we didn't do much analysis, 2% is okay as a target. See, no much analysis. I just go back to my Royal Q and I just set 2% here. Trading with Royal Q is an easy thing, but we need to just learn to do some of the basic stuff and determine our exit strategy. All right, so I've saved it now, sure, and I'm going to activate. I'm creating the bot. Easy. So what you're going to see is that there will be a lot of movement. But I have to quickly change this to, I'm going to click on, it's now in whole warehouse mode. So very important. You must change it to sub-in mode real-time settlement before you start the trade, yeah. Otherwise, if it buys all the 4 margin calls, you will not be able to change it. So you want to change it before, you enter the trade. So you can see right now, it is in sub-in mode real-time settlement. So all you do is you click there and you choose sub-in mode real-time settlement. So you're just going to see that this trade will be moving more radically within that 10% range and making more money. But the interesting thing is that I have determined my exit point. Once it closes here, if a candle closes below here, I'm done, I'm out. I don't want to even analyze whether whatever it is the reason, I don't want to be bothered. I just observed that there's an EMA crossing here. I went in and I'm good. No much thinking. You don't need to think too much, okay? I didn't even bother about anything else. I didn't look at anything else here. I just looked at the EMA and went in. Trading must be simplified for our team to benefit. But I want us to learn the culture of taking losses. And even if you take a loss, you can still win and always be in the game. So if I look at this trade in a moment, I'm going to share my screen. It has already bought 1 margin call. All right. It has already bought 1 margin call. And that is how, after the 4th margin call, it will begin to vomit some, massive income for you. So this is how I want us to practice trading so that we can make more impact. So 2% of CTXC, if it sells, I'm going to tell you. So if it goes straight now to sell, I will make 2% of $11. All right. But if it goes down, which I want it to actually go down a little bit, and it comes up, I'm going to make more money, from those lower margin calls on my way to still getting my sell from the first 4 margin calls. All right. So this is the setting for $100. Now, I want us to quickly do the next thing, which is adding the setting for $200. Now, this one is slightly different. Okay. This one is slightly a different type because this one concentrates on the top, the top coins. So let me the top 4 margin calls. So I'm just going to click on mine and click on my strategy settings. Okay, here's my strategy settings. And I'm going to click on the plus sign to create another one. And so I want to make it radical. Of course, you can choose whatever you want. And then I'm taking it to become $200. $200. So the $100 one, remember, it's $5 you used as first buying amount, and your capital is $100. I'm going to explain all these things again in a bit after the second setting. But what you need to remember is this. Since it's $100 and your first buying amount is $5, if you double your first buying amount, you double the amount you have earmarked. So if you do $10, it means the earmarked capital will now be $200. If you do $15, it means that's times 3 of $5. That means the earmarked amount is now what you call $300. So if you want to do for $500, it means $5 times 5, which is $25. And then that same thing, that same $100 setting would work for $500. If you want to do it with $1,000 as earmarked capital, you simply say, okay, times 10 of $5, which is $50. And it will, that same thing, that same setting will work for $1,000. So that's the beautiful thing about it. Now, let me go to the $200 setting and save it. The same logic will apply to it. So $200 sub in mode. All right. So with this one, of course, our FBA can be 5. Fair margin call should be off. The margin call limit can be 13. I will come to all those explanations later if we have time, and we'll keep having these meetings. Okay. Then, of course, hold position, take profits ratio. You can put 3, and of course, anything that is the profit of a signal, you can apply it there. Hold position, take profit callback 0.01 or 0.1, whatever you are comfortable with. Any one of them works. All right, then buying callback 0.01, that one should be, yeah, 0.01. You want to buy immediately after you sell. Stop position, take profit callback, that can be 0.01. Okay, then one shot. All right. Now, margin configuration, because we have 13 margin calls. So this is what makes this one different. All right. First off, the multiple buying ratio. For the first margin call 1 to 4, on the right side, we're going to retain these 2, 4, 8, 16. Okay. So 2, 4, 8, 16. What does that give you if we calculate it? All right. If we calculate it, yeah, this is 6, right? And that is 14. So 14 plus 16, that should give you 30, right? Yeah, 14 plus 16, that will give you 30. So that will be 30 times 5, which is your first buying amount. So 150, yeah, plus your first $5 first buying amount. Okay, so $155 has gone in here from the first buying amount till this fourth margin call. So it's a $200 setting, but $155 has gone in. So you now have about $45, okay, which you just be doing 1, 1, 1, 1. So that is just to, that is just to manage the fact that the person doesn't have enough money to trade deep. So you could just come here and put 1, from this fifth margin call. All right, from the fifth margin call, you can just put 1. It's just to make the person to be making money on $1 or something. But the truth is, those first 4 margin calls is where the big game changer activity is. So 1, 1, 1, 1 all the way down. All right. So remember, emphasis on this method is based on the fact that you are doing doubling method for the first 4 margin calls. Yeah. For the first 4 margin calls, you are doing the doubling method. So what will be your margin call drop? You have to decide whatever you want to be your margin call drop. Some people use 0.2, 0.3, 0.5. But personally, I want to put 0.9 here. Okay. I want to put 0.9 here, or even 1. See, it makes sense to have 1, 1, 1, 1. So that when the market goes against you by 4%, it's buying this massive amount. Most of the times, our signal goes against us by up to 4% before it goes anywhere to profit. All right. Then you can now be tolerating small activities going down, down, down here. Okay. Can tolerate all the 1, 1, 1 small money that we made on $5. But you must have your exit strategy. You must have your exit strategy. So for me, for the sake of this discussion, I'm just going to put, let's just make it 0.9 here, 0.9 here, and make it 1 point, 1 point what? Let's make it 1.1, 1.2 here. Let's make it 1.2 here. Yeah. Yeah, or even just 1. I'll just make it 2% here. Doesn't matter. Yeah. So remember, you don't have to cram this thing. Just use understand this technology, and then you can do whatever you want. All right. So it will buy this quickly, but I don't. This one is 16. I want to just give it some time to, before buying here. Okay. So that's for the first four margin calls. So I can just do 0.5 here for the rest of them, and I'll do some 1.5s in between. So 0.4. Maybe I'll just do, yeah, 1 point, just between 1.2 all the way. I'll just do 1.2 all the way. You can do anything you want here. Don't even crack your head up, but we don't want it to be too wide, all right? We don't want it to be too wide. It's 30 margin calls. So maybe here I'll just put 1.5. You don't have to cram this thing. So people think you have to cram it. You don't have to cram it. You just want to have something that you move fast with. Okay, so this is 30 margin calls. This is 1.53. That's 3, 4.5, and that's 4.5, 5.2, and yeah, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 11. Yeah, 11. Then you have this ones here. So it's like 11, 14, thereabouts, right? So you can decide to even do whatever you want to do with this. You can decide to make here 0.9, 0.9, 0.9. All right, doesn't matter. So just be fluid about it. Just be fluid about it and enjoy the trading. And you can keep going back, tweaking it based on your understanding. But the most important thing is you want your first four calls to be 2, 4, 8, 6. Now, when the trade goes against you and it keeps dipping, it's just be doing small profit on the $5. And people will be happy to see that the money is coming every day. You understand me? And so that's the most important thing for this type 2. And I will just save it. What do I save it as? One shot. So I can even rename these things to, instead of $100 and $200 sub-bin mode, I will name them type 1 sub-bin. Yes. So I'll rename this one as type 1 sub-bin mode. Type 1. Yeah. I just chose to call it type 1 sub-bin mode so that I know it's $100. I'll just put $100 here. I know it's $100, but it's actually type 1. I can just change the $100 value there. I can change the $5 to $10, and I can use it for higher values. Okay, so that is type 1 sub-bin mode. And I can change the $200 one and call it type 2. Type 2 because some weight is on the, sorry, yeah, because some weight is on the top 4 margin calls. Okay, and I'll just save it. All right, that's it. That's it. All right, so we'll go check our trade. CTXC still playing there. How many margin calls has it bought? Has bought the second one. Before you need to buy the third one, to buy the fourth one, and then it will activate sub-bin mode from the 5th margin call, real-time settlement. Now, let me just go back to the strategy. Don't forget to always, when you import it, to always do sub-bin mode real-time settlements. Always, please, always, so that you can benefit from the benefits of the sub-bins. If you don't activate sub-bin mode real-time settlements and it enters the 5th call, you will not be able to change it again. That means you're operating whole warehouse mode, which is still fine. Whenever the trade goes in your favor and sells off, you'll still be in the game. All right, so is there anybody with any question about the settings? There's type 1 and type 2. You can create anything you want out of these things. All right, the idea is because of the way the market is just dancing around a particular, because we're at the bottom, just dancing around at the bottom. You can use this sub-B mode real-time opportunity to just make as much money as you can. Then when the market goes back into its full trending mode, where the full trend is clear, where the full trend is clear, you can now activate the normal trades, the normal trading strategy that you have, which is 4 margin calls, top get strategy, which we all know. Okay, so in the absence of any question from anybody, I think that's clear enough, right?
Sorry. Good evening, sir.
Yes, good evening. So you can see exactly as we enter the trade, it started to come down, which is normal. I expect it to come down, retest, and go up. Yeah, go ahead.
My question is on the type 2 or $200 setting. Now, I didn't get the first buying amount for type 2. I know that type 1 is $5. So what's the amount for the type 2 first buying amount?
It's still $5. But everything about the setting was for $200 capital. So for that type 2, okay, for the type 2, if you want to use that setting of 200 for $400, you just increase your first buying amount to 10. Okay, if you want to use it for $1,000, that's times 5. $200 times 5 is $1,000. So that means you just do $5 times 5, which is $25. Same thing works.
Yeah. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So I'll drop screenshots of this in the group. I remember, I just saw IJ Smart's trades and I saw that the quantification was massive. And I'm like, how many trades is she taking? That this cannot be normal one trade. So I just asked them, like, okay, this is how it's working. But here's the trick when it comes to sub-B mode real-time settlement. You want to get out of a trade that's not going well. And many leaders in Royal Q will not tell you this. So, but we've been observing this since 2021. Markets can be very brutal. When market wants to collapse, it collapses massively. Why will you be waiting for 6 months for your trade to come back when you can take a 10% loss? You can take a 10% loss and trade and even recover that 10% within a short time. Okay? So this is what I want us to start using from today, that we are, we're having this kind of market that's at the bottom, just going up and down, and then have your clear exit strategy. Any other questions, sir, from anybody else? It's a members meeting, not a members lecture. So let's interact.
Good evening, coach.
Yes, good evening.
My own is not question as per se, because we have been on this for a very long time. Because I can remember when we do sub-B mode rate time settlement, whole warehouse mode. So it happens that after 3-4 years, this has returned back again to be discussed in this group. So, but over the years, what I discovered, why we are seriously in deep, like myself, who have about 3 trades that are very, very much in deep. I posted one is about 78%, that is minus. One is about 50 something, and the other one is 47% minus. So the one thing I see in the market is that as at the time I entered this trade, the market price was at a very high side. It was surging. The market was surging on the uptrend. When I lacked the knowledge that what if the market collapsed seriously, just as it has collapsed within these few months, and my trade went down to as far as 78%. I've looked at it, I paused it, I decided to take out a loss. But when I check the number, the amount of loss I'm going to incur, I said, no, I won't incur this amount of, it is big. So I didn't have the heart to take that such a loss. I decided to marry a patient, to take myself as a patient man, which I am determined. I said, I will have to take a patient pill, waiting earnestly the day it will going to come up. I told myself too, if on the long run, as I'm waiting for the market to rebound and such coins become delisted from the trading exchanger, I said, I will take it. That is part of the trading. That is part of my sacrifice, but I'm not going to take my hand and this law because it is massive. So that what I will do is to source extra fund and start afresh again. Now that market is a little bit, some coins are at a very low ebb now. Some are going down, some are coming and coming down. So I have to start afresh. That any market that entered this period, you will never get such percentage of dip, 50, 70. No, you won't get it. Except you enter a coin that is very high in price now, that you're gonna get such, well, by the time it collapse, it will get such magnitude of percentage loss. But most coins now are at a very low ebb. So anybody who entered a trade now, no matter how it collapses, the only collapsing level you can reach is the listing level, when the coin will no longer be viable and it will be delisted. And it won't get to such maybe 50 or even 30, minus 30%. So that is what we did not know. And that is the mistake myself has made, is to enter that trade. And then number two, I didn't have too much fun to continue, because if I have fun now to open more margin call, that my trade that is on the 78% minus will continue still the run. I'll continue to make money out of it. If I open more margin calls with it, with some money, maybe like $200 and open margin call with it, it will continue, because it is finding it difficult to come up at the market average price of as at the time I entered. That is why it still remains on the dip at this time. So we understand, as you said, the market can crash. The market can do shaggy sometimes. So, and we keep tenacious and continue learning and implementing new ideas. It is money. So my money, when I got lost, it's my money. Even though if I borrow it, it's still my money, I will repay back and I will get another one. And I will continue to do it until I became perfect and make money out of it. Thank you.
All right, so thank you very much. And I'm very happy that you are part of the group buy to floating loss training for batch 4, yeah? So you are part of that training. And the training is just $150 for this batch. Next batch is going to be $300. So this is the last batch that I would say is for VRQ members and and the family. All right. So I recommend it for everybody who wishes to learn, but you can't force people to push themselves. In the course of the training, you will see a lot that will open your eyes to the mistakes of the years that we have been making. And this is why I decided that, okay, even though it's stressful, I have to teach it. I have to teach as many people as are willing, so that we can have as many people who understand how the market works. Of course, market will always go against you. If it's minus 10, minus 20%, and it comes back to profit within a week, that's fine. But for market to be going to minus 60, minus 70, minus 80, no, we don't want people to experience that. So that is why we're activating stop loss. Okay. That being said, so let's talk about exit strategies. Let's talk a little bit about exit strategies. Okay. So
hello.
Yeah.
Good evening, question 9.
Yes, good evening.
Please, my question is, want to know the robot in Royal Care. I want to know what the robot will be doing for me. But because I understand that I'm the one that will put take profit, stop loss, and other things. What the work of that robot in that Royal Care? I want to know.
Okay, good. So the work of the robot in Royal Queue is the same work your car does for you.
Okay.
Because some critics, and I'm not saying you're a critic, but some people will come and say, but it's a robot. It's a robot. What is the robot supposed to? It's not supposed to be doing everything. So here's my answer. If you have $10,000 or $30,000, the robot will do everything for you.
Okay.
And you will just pick one coin, Bitcoin or Ethereum, that cannot be delisted. And the robot will be trading automatically for you. Do you understand?
Okay.
And you can be sure of 5 to 10% every month. But that is if you have good capital. You need good capital because I know you're a blockchain person, crypto person. You know how these things can fall, right? You know how they can fall.
Yes.
They can fall 200% in a month. So you need good capital to withstand that fall so that you stay in the game. But now, many people cannot afford that amount of money. Many people can only manage $500, $1,000, $3,000.
Yes.
So that is why we tell people, you have to do some analysis. You have to do some analysis. And the analysis is not difficult, like what I'm showing you here on the screen. Just EMA 14 and EMA 15, crossover, enter your trade. Target the place on the left that is a swing high. That's all. Then use this new setting we introduced. You make money. So the robot is like your car. So madam, let me ask you, is your car a very powerful machine?
Powerful machine? No.
Your car, is it a very powerful technology?
Yes, of course.
So your car is a very powerful. In fact, maybe you spend 50 million to buy your car.
Okay. Yeah.
But does the car drive itself?
No. I'm the one that drove the car.
So that your question is like somebody asking, I spent money I bought for this, I bought this car, and this car is not supposed to be driving me. You bought the car with 50 million of your local currency, but you still have to go and check the engine oil. No be so?
Yes, sir.
You have to check, my fuel tank is empty.
Okay.
The car can alert you, but you are the one that will go and buy the fuel. You're the one that will go and do servicing. You drive it to the car will not service itself. You will drive it to the car workshop where they will service it, right?
Yes.
You're the one that will drive the car. That is how this bot is. Royal Q makes life easy the way a car makes life easy. But your job is just to drive it.
Okay.
Do you understand? Some people that are trying to take you to another system, maybe trying to make you to abandon Royal Q, will tell you there's another bot that can make money. Let me tell you something. Since I joined Royal Q in 2021, when it came out of China, everybody tried to go and build their own bots. They were trying to create their own bots. But many of those bots today, as I speak to you, many of them have vanished. They're no more working.
Okay.
Do you understand? Many of them are no longer working. All right. So it's good to be very careful and not to be carried away or distracted by a new, people will come with a new thing. Hey, everybody say, let's go there, let's go there. They are just copying, they're copying Royal Q. And none of them has been able to outperform Royal Q. None of them has been able to outperform Royal Q. What they might do is tell you that Royal Q cannot trade futures, but their own can trade futures, which is a lie, because Royal Q can trade futures, but we don't want to quickly take you to futures until you understand trading. Do you understand? And I don't want to take people to futures until they understand how to get out of the market.
Okay.
Have I answered your question?
Yes, sir.
I don't know. Did you see some settings I was saving now? I saved 2 strategies. Were you here when I was saving the strategies?
I not joined on time. I joined late, sir.
Okay. So watch the replay link. Those settings I saved, it is the automation of the bot.
Okay.
It is how the bot will behave if market is going up, how it will behave if market is going down.
Okay.
Okay, so that is the automation of the bot. But
Okay,
now
sir.
you need to understand it. And then because you don't have huge capital, you can decide to come look at the market and decide your entry. Let me give you an example now. Look at the last EMA cross here. Look at the EMA cross here. Can you see the EMA cross?
EM cross.
The red crossed the blue. The red is actually EMA 14.
Okay. Yes.
It crossed the blue EMA, which is EMA 50.
Okay.
And when it crossed,
Okay.
without thinking, this is time to make money. Do you understand? I mean,
Okay.
you could have made money now.
Yes.
The market moved up to 20%,
Yes.
moved up to 23%.
No.
And this thing, it's not as if it happened last year. This thing happened 7th of February.
Yes.
Have I answered your question, ma?
Yes. Yes, of course, sir.
So please, don't let anybody deceive you about Royalkio. Many people don't understand Royalkio. So I know that your question, somebody asked you that question. Somebody told you that thing, right?
Yes, sir. Yes.
So what was the person trying to achieve? Let's discuss. What was the person trying to tell you when he was telling you that?
The person wants to know that I told the person how much they buy the report. He asked me as spending of that kind of money buying report, whether the report will be doing everything for her.
So you see there, that's people that don't understand technology. So now, next time when you see somebody that asks you that kind of question, you ask the person, how much is your car? The person will say, this is my car. I bought it for 20 million. Oh. It's a 20 million naira. Is the car doing everything? Is the car doing everything for you? Okay, your house that you built, you spent about 60M or 100M to build it, right? Is the house cleaning itself?
No.
Is the house opening for you without you doing anything?
No.
Okay. What else? Does the house cook for you without your washing the pot?
Nothing, sir.
Does the house cook for you without your washing the plot? The house will cook and wash everything for you. Is that what the house does?
No.
So why is it that when it comes to online business, people are looking for just $120? Oh, that's like $10 a month. You pay it, and then you want the boss to be doing everything for you. That kind of person is not ready for trading. Do you understand me?
Yes.
That kind of person is not ready for trading. Those kind of people, all they need is Ponzi. And they are comparing Royalkio to Ponzi. Because in Ponzi, you don't have to do anything. The money will be coming for 1 month until it goes off. The money will be coming for 3 or 4 months, and then they will shut down. That is Ponzi. That is Ponzi. So Royalkio is not Ponzi. It is based on market movement. So that is why we tell people to come and be educated about the market, understand how to use this bot, and let's make money from it.
Okay.
Thank you very much for that question. In fact, I will try add this to my presentations in the future. In fact, this point now, I will try. Remind me, Madam Juliet, send me a message on chat that I should add this question to my presentation slide, because my presentation is meant to overcome objections in the heart of people. So I will update my slide with this information. Why would I pay $120? Will the bot do everything for me? That's a very good question. Oh my goodness. And
Okay,
see,
sir.
thank you very much. So I really want us to open our minds. In a real business, when you buy something in your shop, when they are about to expire, you will sell at a loss. Let's say if it is drugs, if you're a pharmacist, when it's about to expire, before it expires, you sell off. When the things are about to spoil, whether it is bread, biscuits, You just sell it off at a loss just to, that is what normal business people do. So when it comes to trading, you don't want to take any loss. Real traders must take loss. So I just want to take a minute to look at the loss algorithm. So if we are trading on the 15-minute time frame for TGS, which is what we do a lot, let's say you are here. Let's say you are here. Price is just the lower Bollinger Band, yeah? And you enter here. Let's say you enter here. If you enter here, permit me to just put something here. You entered here, right? You entered there. Please just look at the left side. Let me not make this thing complicated. Look for 2 swing lows. This is where you entered. There's one here, and there's another here. If the thing reach here, just come up for the market too. Don't let anybody keep it for the market. That's just what I will tell you. I don't want to complicate it by speaking long grammar. Look at it. When it was meant to go to the target, it hit the target price, went straight, came down. Okay? So if as you entered here, it's possible it will just start coming down. When you come here, get out of a trade. This is how you get out of a trade. Or let's just say you entered the trade here. Let's say you entered here. When you entered here, this is the first one. This is the second one. Get out of the second one. That means this is the first one. And this is the second one. If it gets to the second one, get out. That's what we call change of character. That's what we call change of character. I need you to ask me a question about exit strategy. Is there anybody that doesn't understand this exit strategy? So it's good for you to have a TradingView account. Okay? If a market is pumping, let me go to this CTXC now. Let me go to the weekly charts. If a market is pumping, most times if the trade goes against you, to go back up. But you see, as it is dumping now, as it's dumping like this, you have to be careful because this dumping can reach here and stop. It can decide that it wants to dump anything. Okay, this is the lowest point it has done. This is the lowest point it has gone in the past. If this thing, you know why it's dangerous for you to say you want to wait till here? Let me measure it for you. I don't know what it will tell me is the measurement. You want to wait for it to cross.
Good evening, sir.
This is, hold on. Can you see the percentage that this thing is from below this point to where it is now? 710%. That means if this market decides to dump and test this initial place again, it will dump by 710%. Is it at 710% you come to take a loss? So this is why we're saying we need to open our minds to trading as professionals. It is inevitable. Or if you say it was from here, you want to take a loss. From here. Do you know how many percentage from here to here is? 84%. 84. This is the reason why, before you know it, you are in one kind of floating loss. So you must trade and you must have your exit strategy. Somebody was trying to ask a question, right?
Yes, good evening, Chief.
Yeah, good evening.
Okay. Thank you for your trainings and all the works you do. We are learning. But the question is, what's in terms of statistics, percentage, do you think would be appropriate? 5 minus 5, 10, 15, 20, or 25 before you just, okay, let me leave. Should it be like 5, 10, 15, 20, or 25? Then you leave.
Oh, are you just joining the meeting?
I didn't start from the beginning, but I'm not just joining now. But maybe like
I drew some lines And I said when it touches the second one, you should get out. Change of character. Were you here when I mentioned it? I thought, just watch the video replay. I think it will help.
Okay.
Just watch the video replay, but I'll take it to another coin and show you. Okay, I'll take you to another coin. So let's look at another coin, which is let's look at Q2. All right, this is the Q2 weekly chart. So we are at the bottom. The only way to go is up, but you cannot be talking up as if we are the owner of the market. The market can decide that it wants to go down. How down can it go? If it decides this is 400+% down, you don't want to be caught on this side of down. You will hate yourself. So this is what I will tell you to do. So remember, we trade on the most of the time 15 minutes, right? So I'm going to the 15 minutes. Just treat it, please pay attention so that you can get this part right. Yeah, it might be painful to take some losses, though, but that's the way to avoid floating loss. All right, so let's just go back a little bit here. All right, let's say we are here at this point. This is where we were, and we entered this trade here. Let's say we saw the EMA cross here and we entered. All right, yes, EMA cross there and we entered. We expect the trade to, as we entered here, we expect to trade and at least make 4% or 5% minimum. But then when you enter a trade, I used to only want to explain this loss thing to people with the good bite of floating loss, but I think everybody needs to learn it, because we can't be trading and you have to conquer the weaknesses of the system. So this is what you need to do. There's a swing low here. There's another swing low here. And there's another swing low here. Just observe them and decide which swing low you want to get out of. So this is the lowest one. The lowest one is 16% or 70% to where the price is. So if you want to get here, so this is the lowest one. Let me mark it out. Of course, it can be lower than that too, because I can see some other ones below, but I think it will be really silly to want to get to that point. Now, there's another swing. This one here, look at this one here. You mark it out, yeah? And you tell yourself, if it crosses here, I'm out. This one here, I wouldn't say, this is the first one. I wouldn't say get out here. This first one, I usually say just leave it, ignore it. But you see the second one, once it crosses the second one, if you come out to take your loss. Now, if you're working from the second one, that means you will tolerate about that's about 11% loss or thereabouts. Now, but with the margin calls, it'll be less than 11%, but you know, that's the distance. Now, look at the future of this thing. Do you see that market came down here, touched this one, and continued upwards? Market came down here, came close, and went upwards and delivered to profits. Market came to this one. Did it even come close to this one? Didn't come. Now go to the future. It has closed below this one. Now, you know what? It can go up. Oh. It can go up. From here now, it can go up and begin to, you begin to make money. But I tell you that you should be ready to take the loss. All right? So if, for example, you enter this trade here, then you need to be looking at this as the first one. Maybe this one as the first one. Then this one as the second one. And then you get out of it. Just close your eye and get out of it. If you don't get out of it, this is what can befall you. This distance below here. And if it falls that low, it becomes more difficult to get out of the trade. But then to be sort of taking you a longer way down, right? So this is important, right? 30%. So you know what? A person can also decide, I'm not going to exit unless it is below this one. Just you have to decide where you want to exit. Just make sure you exit at that point. Somebody will say, I don't have time unless it comes down here before our exit, which is fine. This means that you're ready to wait for the market to go against you by 45% before you exit. And that's fine. If you have $500 in that trade, you're ready to take a 50% loss and you have 250. Now, the advantage of that is that this thing can come here and face back up and you'll still be back in money. Just cheated. Do you understand it now? Do you understand it now? Am I audible? Can anybody hear me?
Yes, you are.
Yes, you are.
Yes, I can hear you. Yes, I can hear you. Yes, I said that. Absolutely.
So it's not about percentage. It's about following the arrangement of the market. Now, everybody who has gone through my goodbye to floating loss training understands this and understands it technically, in the technical way. But I've tried to make it so simple without using any high-sounding language that will block your mind, all right? So that's it. We must learn to trade with exit strategy. But I also want us to start using the new settings for our trades such that when the market is dancing in between all these places, you can be making money, but you have your exit strategy clear in mind. Every trader must have his or her exit strategy. All right, so just want us to end by talking about something that I think is worth talking about. And I'll always say this. I want to ask you all this question. Why don't you people want $800,000? I want to know why you don't want it. Madam Celestina, you're the first person I'm calling. Why don't you want $800,000?
Good evening, Coach, sir. Good evening,
Yes,
everyone.
yes,
Coach, I never said I don't want it to.
Okay, but are you working for it? Are you working for it?
Yes, sir. I am.
Are you building Royal Q business?
I'm building gradually. But I just need to accelerate my rate of my speed.
When last did you activate an account?
Oh, it was last year. I've not activated this year, sir. But I have
Okay,
two. I have two people I'm working on seriously. In fact, I actually spoke with after today was my son's PT meeting. So at the end of the meeting, I spoke with a couple of parents. Then on my way home I also spoke there was a lady I've spoken to early this year. It was for the early part of this year for about 3 weeks or so. I was very strong. So I spoke with her. And she said, okay, I've sent some of the presentations to her. Then there's also another banker friend of mine. I've also sent to him. I've sent like 3 to him. So he's actually very interested. We are supposed to actually hook up yesterday and maybe to take his questions also. He was on leave for the break period. So that was the time he was a little bit free. So I work with him closely. I was just bombarding him, sending him things. I believe they will come on board soon. But then I'm also working on a couple of other people as well.
Awesome. So thank you very much. I know you're also going through your own personal, God will continue to strengthen you. But I just want people to know that
so much,
this figure is possible. Thank you very much. So let me go to the next person. Fast value. Why don't you want $800,000?
Good evening, sir.
Yes, good evening.
I'm currently a new piece on the Real Q network. I actually joined in January, so still trying to learn more.
Okay. Oh, that means you can grab the $600 in 60 days. Oh. Hope your sponsor has told you about it.
Yes, absolutely, yes.
All right, so if you can activate 20 people, you can get your $600 and you have good trading capital. That's over ₦1 million. So what I'm talking about here. This figure is possible for anybody. It will just take hard work. Fast value.
Yes, yes,
Fast
absolutely.
value. Can you tell me
Great
the kind of money where you can make money in this life that doesn't require hard work and long hard work?
Well, there's none. I've checked and noticed that you have to, even though just like this bot, you have to put more efforts to ensure that you set up your trade to ensure that you make money. So that's another effort as well. So even though you buy a bot that will help you to make money, you have to set the bot.
So let me ask you, Jagaban, to be president of Nigeria, do you think it was an easy journey for him?
So much effort was put on.
And you know he even went on SI one time, right?
Yes.
I'm not a fan. I'm not his fan, but I'm just bringing it because he's the president. Even Buhari, it was not easy. So somebody said that even if somebody want to become a thief, it's not actually easy to steal. So if you want to be a politician, do you know how many years you will be in politics and be saying yes sir, and be doing dirty job before they can even remember you to give you appointment or something? If you don't have a godfather. So there's nothing you do that is you need to work long, you have to work hard for a long time. Okay, what of Yahoo boys? Is Yahoo boy easy? Is it easy to be a Yahoo boy?
At all.
It's not easy now. Because when they buy updates, some update they will spend millions to buy will be fake. Yes. Or the Yahoo Plus where they have to eat shit in public and all those things. So if life is not easy when you're trying to make money offline, why is it that when we come to Royal Q or online, we're looking for easy way out? That is what is destroying TeamEnergy. That is what's destroying our team here. Lots of people want to make money and they don't think they will work long and hard. You are working for government, you work for 35 years before you retire. When you retire, you won't get enough money, but you've worked for 35 years. And I'm telling you to work for Royal Q for 5 years. Every week. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, work for Royal Q for 5 years. Every week, dedicate 5 to 10 hours. I did not say just 5 to 10 hours for 1 week. Not per day, for the entire week. Do that for 5 years. Who is statistic? Statistic. Why don't you want $800,000? Statistic, can you talk?
Hello, Coach. Good evening, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
This is Badria.
Okay. Don't worry. I know you want the $800,000.
Yes.
Okay, ma. Yeah, so we have to wake up everybody.
Yes, sir. We are working on it, sir.
Well done. I'm looking forward to your V2, yeah? V2,
Thank you,
yes?
sir. Thank you, sir.
V2.
Yes, sir.
Who is Cypriel? Who is Cypriel? Hello, Cypriel. Why don't you want $800,000? Can you talk, Cypriel? You're the last person I'll call, then I'll let everybody rest. But we have to end the meeting soon.
Okay, hello, good evening. Of course, I want $800,000.
So,
and I know you have a very hard work. That's not a doubt.
so what's stopping you now?
I won't say anything is stopping me. It's just dedicating more time to it and going extra mile.
Okay, let me show you this. Let me show you this, Cypriel. And this is where we're going to end the meeting. Okay. That other account is a big man account. He has a lot of networkers, big men. All right. So, but this account is a smaller, it's a V5 account, but it's a small person. Now, this person, over the last 2 years, he had only 100 members, 105 members, and he had to work hard over the last 1 year to grow it from 100 and something to 400. Okay, that's how he worked hard. So with about 300 people, 250 to 300 people, in a year, he was able to make $14,000. That is 22 million naira in 1 year. Secret, is that good enough for you for 1 year work?
That's huge. That's it. Yeah.
Now,
it's that's huge.
With just a few people. Now, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. If 200 people could give him 22 million naira in 1 year, what do you think will happen when he has 1,000 persons?
You can imagine.
That is times 5, right?
Yeah.
That is times 5. So you will now have this account making 100 million naira in a year. I don't know, whoever this person is blessed. Yeah. Now, so 100 million naira if he has a team of 1,000. And the person always used to say that he wants to have a team of 10,000 within the next 4 years. If he now has a team of 10,000, how much do you think you'll be making in a year? It will be times 10, not be so.
Times 10. Yes, times 10.
And is it difficult to say the person will be a billionaire?
Absolutely not.
So I don't know why you don't want this money. What's your rank now? What's your rank now?
Okay, I just really joined anyway. I must confess, and I've just decided that this year, I think I joined them mid last year, and I just made up my mind that this year I'm going to put everything I need to put in to make it, to move from wherever I am now to shoot up. It's just a decision I made.
Let me tell you one of the challenges that all of us team builders will face. All of us team builders. The challenge we face is that when we start, I'm trying to see if I have a drawing tool here. Say a drawing tool here. Let's get a drawing tool. Okay, so all of us, when we start our journey, we and the person that is not working, we're on the same level. Let me just do it like this with this line. Me, I am building my business from 2021. This is how I'm going to end it. This meeting, we're going to end it like this. This is 2021. When I was building it, me and the person that was not building it, we were getting the same result. So let me just change it to 2025, because that's where we are. When you are building this business, the first 6 months, you and the person that is not building anything, you will be like you are at the same level. So the person will be laughing at you. Every day they come webinar, wait till they work, you don't make your 1,000, you don't make your $10,000, never make it. Come do one Ponzi, get Ponzi where they run now, they run them. So the person will tell you, and then, but you know what? If you can focus and keep going, by the time it gets to, I'm just using an example of 2029 now. By the time it gets to 2029, you will now experience this. The growth will happen suddenly. But that person that is not doing anything, his own will continue. Will remain like this. All the people that love Ponzi, but let them go and do, let them go and do, let them go and do. By the time it's 2029, the kind of money you'll be making, and it will be happening consistently, because we're improving how we trade, we're tweaking our settings. We just want something that will be working for everybody. And that's why we must have exit strategy, right? By the time 2029 comes, the kind of money you, sir, will be making. These people that they will say, you now took all our downlines. All the people that you went and took all my family members. They will tell you all sorts of things. So the hardest part is when you are working and you're not getting results, and you and the person that is not working, you're having the same result card. That is the hardest time to build a business. Now, the question is, when you start having this kind of success, would you say, let me go and retire?
So we are.
So this is where some leaders make the mistake, because it's a lot of hard work to build a structure and a team. So some leaders will tell you here that, okay, I've done this, let me go and retire. You cannot retire. Okay, Wike, has he retired?
No.
But it's okay, what of Jagaban? Has he retired?
As soon as he retire for where, if God allows him, he wants to continue.
So if people that are just doing their thing how they like, and in politics, in power, I don't know if they care about you and me, but if they are doing what they are doing and they are not retiring, you feel that because you built a business for 5 years, you should retire when you start having success. No, that is the time to create more leaders who will become successful like you, even though you might be doing some work in the background, but you cannot afford to say you are retiring. So I really want us to understand this. Because as far as I'm concerned, as far as in my way I'm going to, if I hit 10,000 members, I'm going for 100,000. Do you understand? Because we have billions of people in the world, and every day more children are being born. And I don't want to take people to Ponzi. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't do Ponzi, but be smart about it. But here is where we can build a system where everybody will succeed if they can learn a little one or two things, especially the exit strategy. So, Mr. Cypriel, remember that within 60 days, if you build a team of 20, you get a $600 bonus from Royal Q. Okay? Within 60 days. So go out, take action, come in. The first thing to learn is top gainer strategy. The next thing to learn is the EMA 14 and EMA 50 crossover. Then the next thing you need to add to your trading is how to get out of the trade when it's bad. And this will keep you in the game. One bad trade, you can recover it within the next 2-3 trades. You can even have 5 back-to-back bad trades. Okay, 5 back-to-back bad trades, which means you take 5% here, loss, 5 again, 25% loss. It's better than floating loss that you'll be praying to God for market recovery. And sometimes God knows the answer to that kind of prayer. You understand? Then that 75% remaining, by the time you fire it, you'll be surprised that maybe the market start pumping. Even in a week, you've recovered your money. Next week, you're back in the game. All right, so thank you very much, everybody, for being a part of this. I remember we have a yearly coaching call system as part of our support system. I just want to mention that before we leave. Where is it? It should be on my slide somewhere. Where is it on my slide? Yeah. So we have this year's own. We've gone through 4 weeks. The 5th week now. We'll hold a meeting. We'll hold meeting on Sundays. It's a 52-week coaching training program to create coaches and mentors. It's the hard work I have to do to inspire those who believe to do what needs to be done. So on the final notes, January next year will open for new people, and I hope you will get testimonies from those who went through it, and others would like to be a part of it. So remember, it doesn't matter how slow you start. What counts is how long you last. Consider building Royal Q as a lifestyle for the rest of your life, as long as the system is operational and we can make money from it. I'll allow Mr. Sheye to round up the meeting for us.
Thank you so much, Boss Nnamdi. Really appreciate all that we have gone through today, though I didn't come in very early. I was actually on the way, but thank God I'm finally here. I want to appreciate you, and at the same time want to encourage everyone
This opportunity has been placed into your hand and it has been placed into my hand. What we make do of it is now left to us. Thank God that this great team is backing us up and educating us steadily, regularly, to make sure that we are up to date. The bull season is there, the bear season is coming. But one truth you need to know is that with Energy Team, we're always being educated. Thank God for the leader we have, Coach Nnamdi. We're always regularly updated and educated to get better so that we can enjoy trading, so that we can help as many people as possible to become part of this. I want to say, please, let's go through all this training. Let's go through the recorded version of this Zoom so that we get to understand this better. So that why? So that what? We can touch so many lives. Brother Nnamdi, we appreciate you and we'll keep appreciating you. You have sacrificed so much. God bless you abundantly. And we also say that we'll stand and do what is needed. We'll do the needful. What do I mean? At least let us dedicate in a week 5 to 10 hours in a week. And let's see what the result will give us in a year, in 2 years, in 3 years, in 5 years. I can tell you the result will surprise you yourself. I've tested a bit, but I definitely desire to get to that place because it's the best. Thank you so much, Brother Nnamdi, for sharing this with us, for always being there for us. At the same time, I want to say thank you to every leader that has also joined this training and coaching session, because honestly speaking, our eyes have been opened. It's left into your hand and it's left into my hand to make do the best of it. Thank you so much. Coach Nnamdi, we appreciate you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.
Yeah, good night.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Good night. Yeah.
Good night, Madam Malupe. Good night, Madam Chika. Good night, Cypriel, Dr. Ambrose.
Yeah,
good
thank
night.
you.
Mr. Jerome, good night.
Good night, my
friend.
Good night, everyone.
Thank you.
Good night. Good night. Good night. Brother Nnamdi, thank you so much. Good night.
You're welcome. Good night, sir.